Yo, what's going down, everybody? Just straight out of Boston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for episode number 13 of my Philadelphia Phillies franchise. And as you can see, we make the call. We're calling up J.P. Crawford. We waited the proper amount of time to make sure we would get the extra year of service out of him. So we call him up to the big leagues. He's a 74 overall, and you can see I sort of highlighted a couple trade targets there on the trading block. I just wanted to sort of gauge your guys' temperature on maybe looking at a guy like a Matt Moore or a Jung-Ho Kang. I believe I'm pronouncing that one right. I'm not 100% sure, though. Of course, he did come over from Korea last offseason in real life and signed with the Pirates, but he's on the trading block. And both Moore and Kang are pretty good players. I think they're both in the 80s in terms of overall. Kang's got an 8 potential, but I doubt he ever really reaches that because he's already 27 years old. And yeah, they're both mid-80s players. They both have pretty, fairly cheap contracts, which sort of maintains the idea of keeping my payroll as flexible as possible moving forward. But I don't know. I mean, they're not great fits. They were just sort of intriguing players that I thought maybe would help the team out. But I mean, as of right now, we don't really need another starting pitcher. Our starting pitching has been fantastic so far, and even if we do end up moving a guy like Cliff Lee at midway through the season, we think we have some guys in the minor leagues who can probably call up and take his spot. But in terms of adding a bat, I think that'd be actually a pretty good idea because we're still playing pretty competitive baseball. I think we enter this game 24-23. One game above 500. We're still one game out of the NL East division lead. And although I don't really expect to hang around in that race all year long, still adding a bat that not only would help this year's team, but also might help teams going forward, might be a good idea. And, we have J.P. Crawford, so Kang probably wouldn't play shortstop for us, but this guy can move around in the infield. And, even if we called up Corey Seager eventually, maybe sometime around next year, we could probably find a spot for Kang, maybe first base or something. So I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I just thought I would, gauge your guys' interest on that. He's got really good hitting attributes on this roster. So anyway, you can see we're already down 1-0, top of the second here. Darren Ruff getting the start, and one of the reasons why I wanted to show you this game specifically is because we're taking on a left-handed pitcher in Robbie Erlin, and we end up having a really different lineup when we take on a left-handed pitcher. You got guys like Darren Ruff in there, Justin Ruggiano, and you can see Ruff drives in too with a 2-run double there. We do utilize a lot of platoons. Probably more than we really need to, but, like I said, I do want to, keep this team as competitive as possible, and I think one of the ways to do that is to maximize guys' lefty and righty splits and stuff like that, and try to get the most out of, sometimes marginal players. So anyway, we are into, I believe this is going to be like the bottom of the third by now, and that's going to be a leadoff base hit, or a one-out base hit for Alexi Casilla yonder. Alonso up now. That's going to go over the head of J.P. Crawford and go all the way into the left center field gap. Odubel, actually that's Guillermo Heredia, getting the start in center field today. Fires this one into second, and Casilla is going to come all the way around from first and score. Now, I believe he probably would have held up if I had thrown that to the cutoff man, but I thought I could get Alonso at second there. Instead, Casilla comes all the way around and scores from first base on the play. And then Matt Kemp, the next batter, is going to hit this one back up the middle. That's into center field for a base hit. A runner coming around the tag. Not in time. Alonso just gets there before the tag of Christian Vasquez. Kemp moves up to second on the play. Now Upton up, and Upton's got a base hit back up the middle. And with Heredia playing so deep into center field, we're not even going to try and throw Kemp out at home. So that's going to be another RBI base hit. And Aaron Nola, who came into this game with a 1.08 ERA, enduring some struggles here with still just one out in the inning. But this is this is an example of some of the defensive value that J.P. Crawford's going to provide right away. He's not going to be the best hitter coming into the league, but he's a great defender, and he shows it right there with the 6-3 double play. So top four, Darren Ruff up. Ruff's already got one hit on the day. He's going to make it two with a little inside-out swing right there, taking that ball to right field for a 2-out base knock. So that's going to put a runner on first with 2 men down for the next batter, Christian Vasquez, the 1-0 count to the defensive catcher. This ball is hit into the gap in left center field. That's going to get down, and that's going all the way to the wall. Ruff on his horse. He's going to be waved around. The throw to the plate is not in time, and Ruff scores safely all the way from first on the RBI double from Christian Vasquez. I knew Aaron Nola was up next, so I was going to send Ruff pretty much no matter what there. Wanted to take my chances, maybe, even if it wasn't looking good, maybe just try to force a bad throw or something like that. But Aaron Nola ends up striking out there. So we're into the top of the fifth now. J.P. Crawford up, first pitch of his AB. He's going to take that one over the second baseman's head into the right center field gap. And Crawford's got some pretty good speed on him, so he's going to get into second base easily there with a double. So good sign from J.P. Crawford. Like I said, not a guy, I think he entered this game hitting 292, but wasn't getting on base a lot, wasn't slugging for a high percentage. So it's good to see him getting some extra base hits here. I don't expect too much out of Crawford in his rookie season, but I thought it'd be good to get him up here. And yeah, so that is pretty much that. But anyway, nothing would come up to this as Michael Franco would ground out with 2 men down. So Erlin works his way out of that inning. Bottom 5 now, it is Alexi Casilla who's going to drop down a bunt. Franco coming in hard, throw to first in time. A great defensive play from Michael Franco to retire Alexi Casilla on the bunt attempt. Now still bottom 5, Yonder Alonso up first pitch of his AB. He's going to take this one to deep left center field. Back and gone. A solo home run for Yonder Alonso. The former Cincinnati Red prospect came over in the Matt Latos trade and now just absolutely wreaking havoc on Aaron Nola. He's got a pair of RBI, and now it is a 5-3 game. Matt Kemp up next, though, and Aaron Nola would respond pretty well. 2 sinkers to start out, and then on the 0-2 goes to the slurve and picks up his first strikeout of the evening. So Aaron Nola is a guy that you'll probably see me use quite frequently in videos, as I need to get used to pitching with him. He's got a unique pitch mix. He throws a 2-seamer and a sinker, which is sort of a bit redundant in this game. They both have pretty similar movements to them. Then he also throws a slurve and a circle change. So he's got 3 pitches that all sort of move in the same direction, and then that 1 slurve. So I don't know, it's kind of difficult to learn to pitch with him, but I'm going to probably use him a lot so that by the time, we work our way into making the playoffs and having to use Aaron Nola in big starts, I'll, be more comfortable with him and be more comfortable with just his pitch mix and his windup and all that stuff. So anyway, Erlin's day would be done after that base hit from Yulieski Gurriel. So we got first and third with no one out. Casey Kelly, the top prospect in the Anthony Rizzo trade, ends up coming in. Of course, Kelly did not work out for San Diego, and they ended up moving Anthony Rizzo for Andrew Kashner. So that trade kind of flopped for them, but Kashner's been pretty decent so far in his career. Christian Vasquez is going to knock home a run there with an RBI base hit. So after Darren Ruff struck out there, Vasquez knocks one home. That's going to bring up the pitcher spot. So we're going to go with Dominic Brown now with 2 men on and 1 man out. Big opportunity for the men getting a day off today, and Brown's going to hit this one to the shortstop. Goes to second for 1 on to first in time. A big 6-4-3 double play, and that will retire the side. So bad AB by Dominic Brown there, rally killer. We're going to bring in Shea Simmons now, as Aaron Nola got pinch hit for by Dom Brown last inning, so we got to go to the bullpen. Shea Simmons is a guy we picked up from Atlanta in the Nick Castellanos trade, and he ends up striking out a pair in this inning. And there's a runner on second with Will Motorbrooks up 2-1 count. Motorbrooks shoots this one back off the middle. It goes off the face of Simmons, but he recovers in time, makes the throw to first, and that will retire the side. So Simmons works out of it. We are through 6. Take a look at the 6th inning recap. It is a 5-4 ball game. San Diego on top. Philly actually out-hitting San Diego so far, but to no avail, as we are still behind in the score column. And then Bautista cranks one to deep right field here. This is back at the track, at the wall. Upton reaches up and makes the play right at the top of the wall. Actually, it looks like Matt Kemp out there and right, but into the bottom of the 7th now. Shea Simmons back out for the 7th. He ends up walking the leadoff man, Derek Norris, so we're going to go to the bullpen now. Jake Diekman is going to come on with some guys who hit righties better than lefties coming up. So here is actually, I'm not sure who this is. I think this is a pinch hitter, Oswaldo Arcia. He ends up striking out, but the runner advanced to second on a wild pitch. Now after he got up to third on a ground out, 2 outs. Yonder Alonso up, and Alonso grounds this one hard. Franco can't make the play, and Yonder Alonso's fantastic evening continues. He's got his 3rd RBI, and he makes it a 6-4 ball game. San Diego now extends their lead. So we're going to bring on Justin DeFreitas to come on middle of the inning and try and get out of this jam now with 2 men on. Justin Upton up the 2-0 count. He's going to fly this one to left. Our left fielder, I believe that's Darren Ruff out there today, is going to get under it and make the play. So that will be out number 3. Freitas is out of the inning. Now Joaquin Benoit is going to come on and pitch the 8th here and try to set this one up for San Diego Padres closer Craig Kimbrell. Now top 8, 2 outs. Yulieski Gurriel up. First pitch fouls this one off into first base side foul territory, and a nice play by Alonso, who rounds out his day nicely with a little web gem here, reaching into the crowd and taking this one away from Yulieski Gurriel. So now we're into the bottom of the 8th. DeFreitas still in 1-2 cancel. Will Middlebrooks, he's going to go down swinging on that 2-seamer. So DeFreitas gives us 4 outs there. He works through the 8th, and now we're on to the top of the 9th. Craig Kimbrell up. Craig Kimbrell in with a sub-2 ERA so far this season. He would retire the first 2 batters of the inning, so we're going to go with Jose Miguel Fernandez to pinch it in the pitcher spot here. The first pitch of his AB, he's going to fly this one to center. The center fielder, Will Myers, will work his way under it, and he will make the play, and that will end off the game. The Padres win this one by a final score of 6-4. Craig Kimbrell picks up another save. I believe Robbie Erlin probably ends up getting the win, and Aaron Nola ends up getting the loss there. So that is going to do it. We drop to 500 once again on 24 and 24, but still, you know, playing pretty well this season. You know, especially for the lack of offense we're getting. I mean, it's still really been the pitching staff. I think Mike Fiers is like 7 or 8 and 1, and he's got like a 1.75 ERA. This was just Aaron Nola's first loss of the season. I think Cliff Lee's got like a 2.5 ERA. So really, the entire staff is pitching pretty well. The bullpen has not been great. We got to work on that. I thought that was going to be one of the strengths of the team coming into the year, but it has unfortunately proved to be a weakness. But anyway, that is going to do it. So I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. Thanks for watching. Nose 'em out. Peace.